So we are super pumped to have Krista Mashore on with us. She's going to be talking about how to build your brand with digital marketing, winning before you arrive, because people already know who you are because they're so familiar with you on social media. So before I go ahead to introduce her, just a little reminder of who we are. So myself, my mom Eva, who's on the call, tuning in from the airport, my brother Dylan, also tuning in from the airport. Run a top producing team out of Westchester County, New York, and Connecticut. We also run the amazing organization of Every Move Collective at eXp Realty, which brings you these bi-monthly masterminds where we come together to learn, network, build community, second and fourth Monday of every month. If you stick around to the end of the call, which we hope you do, we will be announcing our lineup for quarter two. And so, yeah, thanks all for joining. Be as conversational as possible. I believe Krista has a bit of a presentation, but like drop questions in the chat, raise your hand. We want to keep it conversational as needed. And next, last but not least, Krista. So Krista is a fellow EXP agent of ours, and she's recognized by the Wall Street Journal in the top 100 real estate agents in the US. So Krista, while in production, was in the top 1% of realtors nationwide. She, over 19 years, sold 2,300 homes as a solo agent and is the author of 6 best-selling books focusing on digital marketing and real estate. She's in Yahoo
Good
Finance.
enough. That's
Good
good.
enough?
Yeah.
All right. Fine. She does have a coaching business that she's built, and all of that is really around digital marketing. So I'll let her introduce herself and we can really dig into that.
Krista Mashore is here. She's a real estate coach and motivational speaker.
You were meant for more. You can do anything you put your mind to. You just can never stop. Not only is what you're learning right now absolutely possible, it is probable and predictable.
I'm just going to tell you, like, Krista has the results. She has the resume.
She is one of those that thinks it, does it. Her feet are moving. By the time she's talking about, her feet are already moving in the direction to get it done.
Good things don't come easily. When it gets hard, you absolutely are going to keep on going. Because if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting the same result.
Even when we want it, it can be difficult. But how we choose to deal with opposition, how we choose to deal with pain and change determines how we succeed or fail.
She is the author of 7 best-selling books on digital marketing, mindset, and high-ticket conversion.
So when I started researching what other companies were doing outside of real estate, I realized, oh my gosh, in order for me to change this position that I'm in right now, which wasn't very good, by the way, I have got to change what I'm doing. I have to become a marketer.
You inspire me. I love your energy. I love how much you care about your people. I promise you, when this girl's behind your back, she's talking about how she could serve you, how she could do more, how she could get smarter, and how she could bring you new things.
This is Russell, and right now, guess what? She is the queen of all real estate agent lead gen marketing in the whole world.
All right. Enough of that. Woo!
Amazing.
Okay. So, I'm gonna find you guys. I always lose everybody when I do this. Oh, where'd everybody go? So here we go. Sorry. Yes, I all of a sudden lost everybody. Don't you love that when you're doing things? Let me see everyone. I'm gonna see you in 1 second here.
Maybe that Zoom button down in the
Oh, yeah, that's why. Stop share. I've only done Zoom for my whole entire life, and now I can't do it. Okay, so what I'd like to be able to do is total collaboration, ask questions, and do all that good stuff. I consider myself a marketer before anything else, and when he who markets the most will always win, right? Because the more you can market, the more exposure. Hi, Terry. The more exposure that you will have. So. You don't have to be the best, you don't have to be the newest, but if you can get more exposure, you're going to have more chances. And right now we are in a market, would you say, not just in real estate, but in the world of more uncertainty, right? People are just more fearful. There's so many things going on. There's wars and there's just everything you can imagine that's not good. And during times of uncertainty, research shows that the consumers need more trust when purchasing, okay? Especially with what's happening with real estate over the past 18 months with just everything with NAR and the rules and the lawsuits and all that. People view agents, in my opinion, not the way that the esteem that we should be held, right? They don't think that we're worth our weight in gold. And so we have to prove to them that we are different. We have to prove to them that we're unique and that we are someone that can really, truly help them. They need us just as much as they would need, let's just say, a doctor or an attorney. And as you know, we're held to the exact same esteem as a doctor or attorney, okay? So what I want to kind of show you is this. And again, if you just raise your hand, and you can feel free to interrupt me, all right? Because I can just get going sometimes. But I want to talk to you about the sales cycle. And in the sales cycle, it is why most businesses fail. And the reason why so many agents fail in real estate is because we are not taught to be marketers. We're not taught how to run a business. We're taught, how many square inches or whatever it is in a mile, right? We're not taught how to actually market our businesses. And I want you to think about brands like Google, okay? Everyone here knows who Google is, yes? We all know Google. We all know Google. Why would Google spend $7 million for a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl? That's just for the 30 seconds, not to include what it cost them to actually create the commercial for a 30-second commercial. Why would they do it? And just scream it out. Why? We all know them. Why would they do it?
Visibility.
Visibility. Yes, visibility. Brand awareness. They don't want us to forget about who they are, right? They want us to continue to be top of mind, because all it takes is someone like ChatGPT to come in and be able to quickly take over market share. So brands do this for that reason. Okay. So I like to think about the sales cycle like you would do a house, since we're all in real estate. And at the bottom of the house, you need, before even the foundation, you need to have a strong mindset. And I think that sometimes part of the things that we need to do as agents is that we need to have a very strong mindset, because we need to learn how to get ourselves out there, how to be seen, how to be in the forefront. And that can be difficult for a lot of people, because we're afraid people are going to judge us. Do we know enough? We have imposter syndrome. All of those things come up. So, a huge part of your success is going to be in your mind, obviously. And I think, as you all probably know, is that you create what you think about. So starting off, number one, having a very good mindset. So this is the sales cycle: marketing, lead generation, lead nurture, conversion, results, and the 6 R's. So let's kind of talk about, again, how they all fall together and how it reminds me of a house. Or it reminds it. So the first one is marketing and awareness. Okay. It is the foundation of your business. If you can make sure that anyone that thinks about real estate thinks about you before they actually need you, that is going to be key. If somebody only knows about you when they need you, you are too late. So your job as a real estate agent, as a marketer, is to make sure people know you all the time. Anytime somebody thinks about real estate in your town, ask yourself this question: are they thinking about you? Are you coming to mind? Okay. Now, here's the thing, is that we think that we are in the real estate business, right? But we are actually sales agents. Most agents think like workers, right? We have to start thinking about like business owners and like brands. Your brand is everything, not the company that you work for, you yourself as a brand. And real estate, in most cases, people are chasing. But if you can create demand for you before your clients even need you. Now, let me just repeat that: demand. Most real estate agents are seen as a commodity. When you can create demand for yourself, that is when you can have a business that can be on belief in real estate. But how do you do that? You do that through differentiation. You've got to differentiate yourself. Okay. So when you think about French fries, you think about McDonald's, right? When you think about coffee, you think about Starbucks. That is what we want to happen with you. You want your community to think about you anytime they think about real estate. So how do we do this? We have to become marketers in our markets. To be a top producer, you want to become a top marketer. All right. And every single thing starts with marketing. Marketing and attraction, building an unforgettable brand, anyone can do that. And it takes consistency and practice. Again, to be a top producer, you want to be a top marketer. If you market appropriately, you will generate not just leads, but higher quality leads. And we don't just want leads, we want leads that actually convert. And this is how the entire sales cycle works together. When you market correctly, you will generate higher quality leads, but we have to nurture those leads, right? Nurturing is imperative. And remember, lead generation falls on marketing. Lead nurture falls on marketing. Lead nurture, staying top of mind seamlessly, so you're remembered, so you're not forgotten. That is the goal of lead nurture. Okay, if you nurture appropriately, you will convert. Now, again, To nurture, you also need to market, right? To generate leads, you need to market. To have higher conversions, all of them will work together. Marketing equals higher quality leads. Effective nurturing equals easier conversions. I want you to see how all of this absolutely falls into place and comes together, okay? Now, the results is on you, right? Taking good care of your clients, and I can tell you this. What I have found is that people that take the time to be on trainings like this are the type of people that do a good job, right? They love their clients love them, they take their job seriously. That's exactly why you're here. So that's on you, right? But we want people to refer us. We want to retain them as clients. We want them to relist and resell with us. And again, that's where marketing comes into play. That's where nurturing comes into play. Because how many times has it happened to you, like it's happened to me, where you drive up the street and all of a sudden you see another person's for sale sign on the lawn, right? Or you're at Costco and someone's like, and your client that loved you, that swore they would refer you, that swore they would come back, they're like, Krista, I just bought a house and we've sold a house too and we're so excited. And you're like, yeah, but she didn't hire me. And you're like, oh gosh. And that's because we let people forget about us. And the National Association of Realtors stat, it's something like 88% of people say they would refer their agent, but only 12% actually do. 88% of people say they'll come back and use their agent, but about 12% do. Why? Because they forgot about you. And I always use this situation. We built a house about 5 years ago, and I love the person that did my blinds, right? They were amazing. They did a great job. I love the person that did our custom closets. But do you know, and mind you, I'm in real estate, that I could not refer them even if I wanted to, because I do not remember who they are. I know that sounds terrible. They don't market to me. I'm not on their list. I don't see them anywhere. And I would love to refer them, but I can't because I have forgotten about them. And I promise you, as much as we all think that our clients love us and we're the number one person they think about, they will not if you don't allow them to, okay? The goal is do not allow them to forget about you. And when you market appropriately, everyone, you also get referrals from people that don't even actually know who you are. So marketing is key for the survival of any business, all right? Again, this is the stat. The more financial uncertainty, the more trust that's needed, okay? Real estate is a business where people absolutely need trust, especially over the past 18 months with everything we have going on and all the changes. People need to be able to trust you, okay? So I want you to think about attracting business, getting people to bond with you, and getting them to commit, okay? During the marketing phase and the lead generation phase, that's when you're attracting people, and that's when people are bonding with you, okay? So marketing is mostly lead generation and attracting, okay? Bonding is nurturing those leads, again, through marketing. And then if you can do that, then they will convert. You'll get them to commit with you. But I want you to understand they just all go so hand in hand. Now, I want to talk to you about 4 really important aspects of marketing when you are marketing and why they're so important, okay? It's recency, relevancy, proximity, and being different. So what does this mean? Well, as recent as possible. Think about the news, right? People pay more attention to what's happening now, and what I'm showing you right now is going to really go into what we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. People want to know about what's happening currently. Okay, what's recent? Think about, you know, the when there's like right now, isn't it like football, or there's basketball now, right? There's a basketball March Madness thing going on, and you want to know like who's winning and who's doing this, and like you want updates all the time because it's recent, and most of you probably are in that fantasy football or fantasy basketball league, whatever it might be. So you want to know what that is, okay? Relevancy, personally meaningful. Have it speak directly to them. How relevant is this information to them? Now, think about this. If there is a serial murderer in your state, you're like, oh my gosh, there's a serial murderer in my state, right? That's pretty relevant to me, yes? Like you're like, oh my God. Now, if it's in your city, which will lead to the next principle, which is proximity, okay? Geographically close to home. A house on fire across the country may not catch your interest, but one across the street will. Make it as close to home as possible. And this is where this next marketing aspect is going to really help you, that we're going to dive into. And being different. The more you can differentiate yourself from your competitors, the more you will stand out and make more of an impact. Listen, everyone, I have seen brand new agents come in and beat out top producers just because of the 4 principles I just showed you. Okay. They understand, number one, differentiation is huge. People expect it and they need it, and everyone else is doing the same thing. So how many of you would think that real estate's competitive? Yes, we think it's competitive. Colby just said that John has, started a Facebook group and has 85,000 people in it. How long did that take you, John? 4 months? 4 years? 4 years. Okay, 4 years. 85,000 though, just in one Facebook group. There's a lot of competition, but here's what I want you to know. If you can differentiate yourself and actually get the exposure that you need so people can see that, it is very easy to be a top producer or to break into any market and be the top dog because everyone else is doing the exact same thing. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. So, and the more that you can be different, right, and make it relevant to the client avatar, relevant to buyers and sellers, make it close in proximity so they actually care about it because it's more meaningful to them. Okay, the more that you are going to be able to completely dominate in your industry. So let's keep going here. I just like to share these principles because they absolutely kind of hone in on the point. Okay, so one of the best ways that you can dominate an area, and let me actually show you something different. No, we'll do this. Is becoming the go-to market leader of a certain subdivision. Okay, it's being the person that every single person thinks about in that community. Why? Recency, relevancy, proximity, okay, and different. So what kind of things can you do to make sure that people know about you in a specific community? Now, it's great in a city. Cities work too. But when I was an agent, I remember the market had crashed and I had sold like 169 homes, my best year in real estate as a solo agent selling foreclosures. And the market got better. And all of a sudden, all of my asset management, companies went away. And so my business drastically went down. It went from like 160, 170 homes a year down to like 12. And I was like, oh my gosh, nobody knows who I am. I had been selling foreclosures for about 5 years, not marketing myself. So it was almost like I was starting over from scratch. And so what I did was I picked 2 communities in my neighborhood, in my city that had around 6,000 people in them. And I started doing market updates within the neighborhoods. I would do farming through Every Door Direct. I would send postcards out that they would get every 2 weeks, and it would have like just listed, just sold on it, right? On the back of the postcards, it would have things about the community and the school scores. I live in the Bay Area, so we used to have the 49ers and the Raiders, and so I would put those the schedule for that on there. I'd do the A's, and people would keep these postcards. And so that brought me back up to over 100 homes a year again. Okay, I actually wrote a book called Sell 100 Homes a Year. And it brought me back up to over 100 homes a year again because people knew about me and they started associating those market updates with me. And then also kind of feeling like I was one that was selling those houses. Now I wasn't, I had the disclaimers on them, but when you're constantly giving updates, right? It really, people take notice. So now let's fast forward, okay, 10 years later, 7 to 8 years later, and we have this really cool thing called our phones and the internet and Facebook, right? Where everybody's at. Everybody's on their phone, everybody's on Facebook. So I started creating videos all about the neighborhoods. And I would talk about the sizes of homes, the prices of the homes, the things to do in the homes. I'd give market updates on the homes. And before I knew it, like people were everywhere I'd go in these communities. And of course, I didn't just do digital. I would do like the neighborhood garage sales. And I did Santa, and we'd do Santa all across the neighborhood, everything you can imagine to be seen in those neighborhoods. I got really good running Facebook ads, and I started marketing, taking this video content and putting an ad spend behind it and getting 300, 400, 500 hours of watch time on every video for just a couple $100. And business was just it was attraction-based marketing, right? People were developing a relationship with me. It's called a parasocial relationship. And what this means is, it's just like when you watch TV. How many times have you ever like cried, during the show, or you're rooting for the good guy, you hate the bad guy, you're like, like you're just so mad because you feel like you know these people, okay? That is a parasocial relationship. Research shows that people that are watching you on the, yes, visibility, on the other side of a camera, they feel the same way about you. They think that they know you. Okay. So you go into the store, and I mean, this happens to me all the time. It happens to students, people all across the country, where you're going to a store, you're somewhere, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, Luz, I love your video content. Did you hear about that house across the street? And oh my gosh, Herb, you know, I love how you and your husband did X, Y, and Z. And people, like, they start following you. Remember that show with Jim Carrey, where, what was that name of it? Where it was like, he was like, everybody was watching him and they were so obsessed with his life. People are obsessed with real estate. That is why all these, you know, Sex in the City or whatever those, you know, those shows that look like Sex in the City and real estate are so popular because people are obsessed with real estate. And you know what they're even more obsessed with? Real estate in their area. When you drive across in your neighborhood and you see that sign, first you're pissed they didn't hire you. And the second thing you do is you go home and you look at the price. And you look to see who the other agent was if it wasn't on the sign. You do this because you want to know what the value is in your property, in your area. Everyone wants to know that. So the fastest way for anybody to dominate in real estate is to choose a neighborhood and to become what I call the community market leader. Anytime anybody thinks about anything about that community, you are the go-to resource who is educating them. So let's put some steroids on this, and I'll show you what I do. Before that, let me do this second here. Hold on a second. I'm gonna show you first so that you get more excited about wanting to do it. Okay. Now, if a seller or a buyer calls me, can you guys see my screen? Okay. Yes, good. So if a seller or buyer calls you and says, hey, I'm interviewing other agents, you know, and I want to interview you, or a buyer calls you and says, I'm really thinking about, you know, Brentwood, the city, and do you know the differences in the different neighborhoods? You go, yes, great. Let me just send you a resource. Okay, so they click on this resource, and let's see what the resource does. Do you love this when this does this? You know, my thing is like really, sorry everybody, being a little stinker right now, and I have it showing, and it's not. You know what I'll do? Oh my gosh, I'm going crazy right now. I use Zoom all the time, but let me just go back up real quickly and go into my thing because it's not letting me download this for whatever reason. Okay, here we go. I got it here. All right. So I'm going to show you, I want you to think about if you were a consumer and somebody sent you to a resource page, okay, and it looked like this, what you would feel like, what you would do. All right. So here's the resource page. And first of all, let me ask you a question. Can you tell from looking at this page, Krista, you could if your computer wasn't just completely acting out like crazy. Here we go. I apologize. I don't usually ever have these issues like this. All right. So what is this a resource page on? What'd you guys think? Like, it is a resource page on Deer Ridge and Shadow Lakes, which is a specific neighborhood within a city. Okay. So let's just go ahead and kind of click on this and see what happens here when we do that. Hi, Deer Ridge and Shadow Lakes. It's Krista Mashore.
It's Josh Vitale.
And we are here to deliver your March last 30-day current market update for Deer Ridge and Shadow Lakes. And look out for this. We're going to be delivering these to you. If you click here, it takes you right to a community funnel, which talks all about the area.
What is it? Is it a coaster? It's a coaster.
Yes, you have to keep it. And then you can click this. It'll be new every single month.
Put your beer right on it.
Yes, or whatever, or your coffee. Also, if you'd like to know how to sell your home in Deer Ridge or Shadow Lakes, just give us a call. We'll give you this. And also, if you're thinking about buying, we'll drop these off free of charge. What are we going to be reviewing, Josh?
We always got to remember price is dependent on condition, location, obviously your marketing, all those good things. But do you have a view of Mount Diablo? All these things are going to play a part. Do you got a pool? They're all going to play a part on value.
Yeah, so we're going to be reviewing each, and you can stop at any time and kind of look more at what's going on with you. At the end of this, our partner Jalen will be showing you what's all happening in Brentwood, but right now we're focusing just on Deer Ridge and Shadow Lakes. All right, here, so let me go ahead and pull this up. Here we go. Here we go. This one right here is this is Deer Ridge. So I'm going to go ahead and show you anything that's in red. And as you can see, Deer Ridge is so big, right? And obviously, you know, depending on where your house is and the views and all that changes price, but red is what's sold. Quite a few things have sold. We've got a few actives in green and nothing pending right now. So we'll go ahead and go down here and show you. So here's what's sold. Here shows the date that it sold, how many bedrooms, all the way from 3 to 5 bedrooms. how many bathrooms that we're having. Again, three to 4 bedrooms, the square footage, which ranges from 2,500 all the way to 4,100. As you know, when you first go into Deer Ridge, those homes that are first there to the left when you're entering are typically the smaller priced homes right there. And obviously the price reflects that. Now let's look at what's, and again, this is showing you what it actually closed for and what price per square foot. And again, we can get you much more accurate, as you know, once we see the home, but here is now what's active. Again, Monterey, towards the beginning, at Monterey Court, 6 bedroom. I used to live on St. Andrews. I was just telling Josh, I shouldn't have sold my house so soon because it went up quite a bit. So the prices are ranging that are active right now from about right around 1.3 are pretty much all of them, and the difference in square footage. So now we're gonna go ahead and show you what is happening in all of Shadow Lakes. Let me go ahead and pull that up right now and get
Okay,
that
so
over
what I
to
wanna
you.
do
on that, just not to
Now,
waste
here's what's
time,
happening
is, hold
in
on.
Shadow Lakes.
So he
As
does
you
the same
can
thing
see,
for Shadow Lakes, okay? And then we'll go back to the end, showing you what's going on in like the whole city.
Hi everyone, this is Jane Lynn Miller with the Mashore Group, Homes by Krista.
Now she's only had her license for just a year, okay? I want you to know that she just put a property into escrow for $1.4 million, and she's about 3 deals in escrow right now. But it took her it took her about a year, okay, to kind of get this momentum going. But she's been doing this as a newer agent now since month 1, okay? And John, I'll just finish this for 2 seconds and then I'll get to you. You guys, this is just, John, answer your questions. I don't look like, go ahead and ask your question.
My question was that it's really simple for someone like you to go on camera and do what you're doing because you are already a success. But what about those agents that do not have your flow and what you've got going for yourself? How do we get out there and do what you're doing? The content is fantastic. We got to do it, but maybe you weren't as good as you are now. Who knows? I don't know what to say, but it's just really hard to do it. Watching you do it, everybody wants to be perfect.
Okay, so did you see how much I screwed up? So far today, I've screwed up a bunch of times. I've screwed up on that. Like I was super off that day. There was nothing rehearsed, right? Anything can be trained and anything can be taught. And what you're saying is such a common valid concern. People are afraid. They're afraid what they look like, they sound like, they're too thin, they're too heavy, I'm not experienced enough. That is an absolute common concern, and it's real. But I will tell you this, is that you have to just start. The best way to get better is to start, right? It's like, how do you run a marathon? You take the first step. You have to, before you can walk, you have to crawl. Before you can run, you have to walk. It's just starting. And the best way to do it, is just with your phone. Getting your phone, doing a quick little market update, talking about something that you love, and just getting comfortable with it. What I teach my students to do, it's called a video text message, where they will send 10 personalized video text messages a day to people that they know. They don't ask for business. They don't ask for referral. They just say, hey, John, I love your Facebook groups, 85,000 people. You are the bomb. Like, that is so cool. Anyways, I was thinking about you, wanted to say hi. That's a great way to start feeling comfortable, is by doing personal video text messages and seeing how much people like it. And it's just about, when you go on a listing appointment, everybody here, let me ask you a question. Your first listing appointment, could you put a bag over your head? Like, you couldn't. I mean, you had to show up. Remember the first time you opened the lockbox? I swear on my life, I remember the first time opening a lockbox and being so scared, like, of the lockbox. And then, being so fearful. That's how everything is. But if you would look at the statistics on video content, okay, a landing page, which is what I just showed you, a landing page with video has 800% more conversions than a landing page without video. And the reason being is because of that trust factor, okay? People start to get to know you, like you, and trust you, and see you, even more importantly, as the authority and the expert of that, okay? That's what happens. And don't start big. Like, you'll notice, everyone here knows how to use Zoom, yes? Like, you're on Zoom, even though I suck right now using it. It's like every mistake's happening in the world, which, by the way, will happen when you do your first Zoom. Things will go wrong, and you just go, people, like, I mean, honestly, the mistakes that people make sometimes makes them more relatable and more human. Okay. I'm not personally trying to make these mistakes right now. I feel like I'm a little off today, but I'm making them. And you either think I'm an idiot, or maybe you're like, I kind of like her, you know? And the good thing about that is you're going to attract people that like you, and you're going to repel people that don't. And that is an absolute promise to that. And that's a good thing, because who wants to get into contract with some a-hole that, you know, doesn't like you and that's difficult to deal with, because he's going to attract more a-holes, and that's who he's going to be referring. Okay. So John, I swear to you, you start with Zoom, you start with your phone. No fancy graphics, none of that stuff. It's just you and your Zoom. And you make it quick, right? That is not even a 3-minute presentation, okay? And I did. So I delivered 6,000 of these suckers. All right, 6,000 of them. Why would I do that? Because these work like crazy, okay? Like Josh said, put your beer on that. I didn't even realize that until just now watching that. And by the way, this is not, I didn't mean to wear the same shirt. That was just that was last month's, right?
I was wondering if that was the same shirt. I was going to
it
call
is
you
the
on
same
that,
shirt.
but I don't want to do that.
But no, I have my knuckles on, so it's a different day, right? I have washed it since then. But when they click on this QR code, it says on here, hey, for the 15th of every month, scan here, and you're going to get a market update of your neighborhood. Now, there's more stuff on this landing page, and I'll show you that, but I want you to think about it. If somebody is calling me and they're interviewing multiple agents, and if I send them to this page, I have the upper hand. Okay, I have the upper hand. And also because nobody else is doing it. Nobody else are doing these kinds of things. So let's just keep going. Now, this is a little bit more advanced, okay? So you'll see on here
real quickly, we did have two questions before we move on. Dee Dee asked, what source did you use, RPR?
I just used straight up MLS. That's just MLS. You want to know why I use MLS? So that you can't make the excuse of I don't have RPR or I don't have this. It's like, you all know how to run comps on your computer. Yes? Utilize in my MLS, we have it where you can it's called a polygon, where you can actually, mark it to where you can a certain specific area, mark it to that location. Okay. Now think about this. Now, all of a sudden you invest a little bit more money and you do every door direct. So you spend, $180 on 500 postcards, every door direct, or in that neighborhood. Now, and there's a QR code on the postcard that also goes to the neighborhood funnel. So now anytime you have a just listed or a just sold, right, or you're doing your marketing, they can click on that QR code and they're seeing that you're selling homes. They're seeing that you're also on the funnel. Now all of a sudden they have brand awareness. Like, this person must just be the go-to person in this community. You can be a brand new agent and never have even sold a house, but perception is reality. Because you are educating and offering value, people assume that you are the expert. And everyone knows a realtor, people, and everyone knows that most realtors are exactly the same. No offense. They know that we are a dime a dozen. Okay. And people will use experts for their most valued asset, which is going to be the most they'll ever probably make in their life or lose. And they want an expert. Your job is to show up as that expert. Okay. So then we can keep on giving more, like the local market, spring 2025. Are we shifting? How to sell faster? I've got other resources on here, the luxury marketing plan, 30 days to prep your home for sale. Now, you don't need to have all this stuff, right? The information about the neighborhood, the local crime, census data, the school scores, all of that, information about the different restaurants in the area. Now, this is a little bit over the top, okay? But you have to start somewhere. And each and every one of you can learn how to create a landing page and put a video on it and spend 30 minutes a month doing a market update that can get to hundreds and hundreds of people at one time. Okay. So what I teach people to do is to pick a neighborhood, right? I don't even need to show the slides, but pick a neighborhood and look to see how many homes have sold in the past 12 months in that neighborhood. And then look at the average days on market and then the price points, and pick a smart one. If one home has 50 homes that have sold in a year and one home has 5, which one are you going to pick? The one that has sold 50, right? And if one of them, takes 700 days to sell and the other one takes 30 days to sell, you're going to choose the one that takes 30 days to sell. Okay. Pick a neighborhood that makes sense and that also is geographically close to home so you can get there, and just commit to start producing content. Talk about the styles of homes in the area, the different price points of the styles of homes, things that you can do in the area, right? Why is it that one area of homes sell for more and sell for less? Anytime a home is on the market, a new home in the area, talk about it. There's a new listing up there, right? You can talk about that. You don't have to have the agent's permission to do that. If the agent's super great, like we are with EXP, be like, hey, would you mind if I could do a video on the property, right? You can even like walk by with your camera. There's a house that just got listed. I mean, they cannot get mad at you for that. Okay, you're marketing. If they do, too bad, so sad. Like there's nothing wrong with all the rules of doing that thing. But even if you didn't do that, if a seller or buyer calls you, now here's the beauty of this, okay? The funnel that I just showed you, I take that funnel. So I do a video, I do it once, and then I'll put it on my funnel, right? I'll interview Joe Blow at the hot dog stand, and then I'll put that video on that from the city on that funnel. And then every time I do somebody new, I'll just add it to the funnel. But here's the cool thing, is that now I can copy that funnel and it has all the same information on it, except for the difference of the name of the neighborhood. And all I have to do is spend 15 minutes every month and do a quick market update. And now I have multiple neighborhoods that I can do. So now you're saying, well, Krista, or do you really do that? Like, I mean, do you actually do that? Well, I'm going to show you that I do this. Okay. Let me share my screen again here. And we do. So, and we keep adding because it works so well. So do you see this right here? Here's the community funnel. Here's the Deer Ridge funnel. Here's the Guerin Ranch funnel. Here's the Oakley, Sterling Preserve, Shadow Lakes, Discovery Bay, East County, right? I mean, these are different types of funnels, but I have all these and they are the exact same thing, with the difference of, I can show you here. The only difference of is the market update is different. Okay, Sterling Preserve, you change that. This is a Sterling Preserve market update. Okay, but everything else is the same. So you're repurposing content. Now, I'm not telling you to go and do all those things. I will tell you, if you do, you would have a complete different business in 12 months. Like, I can promise you that, right? But this is how you stand out, differentiate yourself, develop a relationship with your community, show that you are the expert authority, and show that you know what the heck you're talking about. This is how a new agent can beat a top producer. Okay, and people are expecting more. And I get it, John. I know people are afraid to do video. But when we leave here, just do one thing for me. And I've got all the stats, and if we have time, I'll pull them up. But the video converts 1.8, 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. The brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than just this, right? Now imagine if I was teaching you like this the entire time. Okay, just by not being able to see me, do you think it would be as effective of a training?
Hell no.
It wouldn't, right? It wouldn't be as effective. So even that, or what about this? Like, that's what everyone does. Everyone does, like, you know, I'm the number one person. Like, you can't develop a relationship with a still photo, but you can with somebody on the other side of a screen. And you start slowly. You start slowly by grabbing your cell phone and going into into a neighbor and being like, oh my gosh, this great house just got listed. It's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, do you know that there are 7 dog parks? How many of you love dogs, right? Everyone loves dogs. There's 7 dog parks. Yeah, Rocky does and Luz does. There's 7 dog parks in Deer Ridge. There's dog parks for big dogs. There's dog parks for small dogs. And by the way, we sell big houses and we even sell dog houses. Like, you know, I do stuff like that when I do things like that. But it's just a matter of you starting with your cell phone and starting small and getting bigger as you go. Okay. Now, obviously, this is a beginning part of this, but I mean, like, there's a reason why I spent 6,000. I bought 6,000 of these. Okay. Because it is insane how well it works. I just got an update from my team and she's like, Krista, thank you so much for the, and guys, I'm not a producer anymore. Last year I did like 17 transactions working, literally an hour a week in real estate because I'm a full-time coach, but I still sell just enough real estate so I can test every single thing that I teach to make sure that it's working. And I can say, here's what you do, here's how, don't do this, you know what I'm saying? But these kinds of things are what I did to sell 100 plus homes a year, every year as a solo agent. And I know it was different times, but like when I got into real estate, I'm telling you this because of you, okay? When I got into real estate, I remember I was a single mom. My husband left me. I had 2 little girls under the age of 3, and we had just bought in a new house, and I just left my teaching job, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this, right? Drain bank accounts, brand new home. It was just like, and here I am, And so what I did was I looked at what other people were doing in real estate, and I said, I have to do it better. So 24 years ago, people were doing black and white flyers on their listings, right? So I would do a 4-page colored brochure. I would take a CD, if you remember what those were, a CD, I'd put a little label on, I'd put 50 pictures on, I'd put that on the side. I sold 69 homes my first year doing that type of thing. This is that type of thing. Does that make sense? You have to be like, because we are so, we're so underestimated, and people don't understand how difficult it is. And you don't blame them, because everyone's doing the exact same thing, right? And you have to think about the consumer behavior. Do you answer your phone anymore? Are you afraid to say your name? I'm afraid to say my name on the phone. Do you click on anything anymore on your phone? Because you're afraid you're going to get hacked, right? Well, don't click on anything online, whatever you do, please trust me. Okay. When your doorbell rings, what do? Like, I literally, I work from home, I'm by myself. So I'm like hiding behind the thing. I'm making sure it isn't somebody weird. Like, our consumer behavior is so different. We have to adjust and adopt to the way the consumer is purchasing. And they are not purchasing the way they used to, people. Okay, they're not. And people expect more now. So the nice thing about this is, let me just grab something real quick to help you really fast with what John said. I want to show you an example of something. Okay. So one way to help you feel better on camera is this. Okay. Look at this. Okay, do you guys see Rima's face right now? Look at her. Do you guys see that? Okay, do you think if I grab my phone, I do a personal video text message, and I say, hey Rima, it's Krista. Like, I do a little thing that says, it's Krista, it's a personal message for you, Rima. It's safe to click. And then I have this picture first. Rima knows it's not some, AI trying to, right? And that's how I start getting good at video. Do you know that just by doing that, I promise you, if you did 10 of those a day, Monday through Friday, you would pick up 12 transactions in 12 months. How do I know this? Because I've been teaching it for 7 years and we track it. Why? Why does this work? Because it's personal, it's different, and you're staying top of mind. Imagine, and guess what happens? People are like, oh my goodness, Terry, I'm so glad you called me. We were just talking about buying a house. Or Terry, you know what? I met this girl at the school and she said she was going to sell. I'm going to give her your number. I guarantee you, had Terry not done that video text message, they would have forgotten. They would not remember. You are not on people's radar unless you make sure you're on their radar. So now you're doing a personal touch, John, getting comfortable on camera. Then they start seeing you outside in other areas. It's like you have this massive omnipresence and people are developing a relationship with your brand. And it just works so well. Like, I love branding. It's my marketing and branding is my thing. And it's truly what helped me just do so well. And I see it working for agents across the country in all different markets and all different levels when they do it consistently. Okay. Because and consistency is key, right? Just like it is with anything else. And just like anything else, the more you do of anything, the more you will sell from. Like, input will beat experience and the best at any time. If I can do 30 of somebody doing 1, I will win. Okay. So if you're struggling right now, like when I wanted to show you something else. Anyways, when I go to an open house or do an open house, I'll have I have like a little picture frame and it has like a QR code to it. And then they'll be able to click on the funnels. And I've got an example. I've got this here. I'll show you. I have like my boxes that I'll have there, right? They can click on it. And then inside the box, I don't give these to them. I tell them to give me their information. But in the box, we've got like our marketing plans and our guides and all these different things, a copy of our book, like at the open house, and they can click on these different things and it takes them directly to the neighborhood funnel, right? And now a seller comes in, and of course they're stalking, and they see seller neighborhood information, buyer neighborhood information, and they're clicking on that, which is taking them there. And then there's all this other stuff that nobody else is doing. My point is, you guys probably think this is over the top, right? That is how I did $1.8 million the year I left real estate in GCI with an average commission of about 500,000. It's because you have to be over the top because everyone else is doing the same thing. And if you just learn to do it like that, your business can explode. So like you could have the business of your dreams in a 12 to 14 month period. Okay. And so if you're like 12 months, Krista, things take time. You have to build your foundation. Okay. Go do a McDonald's franchise. It's like a couple $1,000,000 and you don't start making the money back until you're 8. Okay. And I know this data because I'm a data nerd and I have to learn these things to prove to you that this stuff can work. Okay. All right. Questions? Yes, Anthony. Anthony, I see you all the time, Anthony.
Because I'm one of your students and I'm your biggest cheerleader.
I love you. Anthony, will you tell them?
I will. So look, I've been in Krista's program for probably 3-4 years, and I got really sick for 2 years. But when I got back into it, and Chris, I don't know if you mentioned this because I was late getting onto the call. There's a program inside the program that Krista teaches with CMA drop-offs. And I can tell you this stuff that we do from the community really works. I make easily $150,000 a year just off of CMA drop-offs. And it's a passive approach with an aggressive outcome. And the videos, doing the 10 text messages a day, like I get a ton of leads that come through off of Facebook, off of the stuff that Krista teaches. And it only costs me $150 a month and I get about 30 leads a month. And then I have an ISA group that works those leads. And then I do text message videos to them and you create rapport with them automatically. And then all of a sudden they're opening up the searches. Now they're turning around and talking to you and you're building up that funnel. This stuff works.
I didn't pay him to say that. I didn't know he was going to be on here, just for the records. But Anthony, thank you. I need to reach out to you for the CMA drop-off because I'm doing a training on it. I want to get a testimonial for you on that.
You got it.
Yeah. So the CMA drop-off, just to let you all know, is taking this concept I just taught you one step further, where I teach my students to, he just showed you that little, show that again, Anthony, show him that piece of paper. So you drop off an unsolicited CMA with a QR code on it, and then it takes them to to the neighborhood funnel, right? And then there's the market update, and then it's also on the actual piece of paper. So they start with, when they don't have the funnel done, just a piece of paper, right, with the information about the area on it. And here's the good thing about this. People want to know what's happening in their community. So it's not like this cheesy, hey, I'm looking for business. It's, hey, here's what's happening in your business, in your neighborhood. A house was just listed, and we find that people, that's what the letter says, we find that people want to know what their neighbor's home have sold for. They want to know what's happening in their community. Here's the resource on it. And oh, by the way, on the 15th of every month, I update this for local stuff, okay? And we can teach this, ask Anthony, to 1 million people, and like 10 will do it because it's consistency, right? It's like in real estate, you can make people. I was a teacher before getting into real estate. Okay. I made $60,000 teaching for 6 years with a master's degree. My first year in real estate, I made $760,000 in commission. Insane. And those houses are like 200 grand. Go do the math, right? Because of differentiation. You have so much potential to have the best living you can ever imagine in your life in real estate. The wealthiest people are built in real estate, the ones who are willing to put in the work. But you have to put the work in. And the thing is that it's all like a building block, right? You stop with the paper, start with paper, then you do, right? Then you keep adding to it. You surround yourself with great people like you have right here. And then bammo, your life is different. Okay.
I feel like learning from you is like drinking a cup of coffee. I am so revved up.
I have a little energy. I'm doing a summit this week with Anthony, you coming?
I can't. My my wife and daughter are going down to seeing colleges, and I'm stuck with my son at home.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Well, so I've got a summit coming up, so I'm like all pumped up, it's one of those things. But I love teaching. This is my thing. I love people and I love educating. That's why I left real estate to get, to be a coach, is because I missed the teaching aspect of it. Even though we're teaching all the time, right? Like sellers and buyers need teaching like constant, that and counseling. Luz.
Hi, Krista. You can call me Didi. It's easier.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
It's Luz. It's a Spanish name for
Oh,
like.
Luz.
Anyway,
Okay, sorry. I knew I was saying that wrong.
no, I enjoy your content, Krista. You're one of the first agents when I joined EXP that I saw on social media and loved everything that you've shared. I'm on 2 years in. Thank you for being here. My question is text messaging. I know that people use iPhones and Samsungs and whatever Androids. The video is not clear if you use one compared to the other. Do you WhatsApp your messages, or what do you do?
Yep. So WhatsApp and then Messenger, make sure that you have a blurb that says, hey, insert name. This video is safe to click. I was just saying hi. I will never, ever click on a video if somebody, I don't know it's real. So if you say that, it takes that problem away. I just say go buy an iPhone. But if you don't do that, then it's easier. You just do it on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, all of that works. And you know, the crazy story is, you guys know who Billy Jean is? Billy Jean Marketing? You guys know who that is? Okay. Anyway, big marketer. He's a huge marketer. And I wanted to get in touch with him. So I sent him a video text message. And he literally, I have a cell phone number now, called him back. He sent me a text message back. And then he called me and he said, Krista, I get about 100 to 150 people a day reaching out to me, wanting a piece of me. And you're the only one that I called back this week because of your video text message. He's like, I loved it. Well, right? Because I didn't ask him for anything. I was like, Billy Jean, I love your content. You're so awesome, right? You compliment people. And the trick is, do not ask for a referral. It's not like Amway. You're not asking for a referral. You're not asking for business. You are just offering value. This also works for agent attraction. Okay. This also works for agent attraction incredibly well. And video content works with agent attraction. I have 825 people with me with EXP, and I know you're thinking, well, that's Krista because you're a coach. It's not. It's because I create video content and people develop a relationship with me. Okay. And they think that they know me, which they do pretty much, like, you're right. It's the same thing. I'm a little too honest with my life, but you get the point.
Yeah, I've actually heard that when people are able to hear your voice and see you first, it eliminates a barrier to entry, because people might actually otherwise be almost like intimidated to reach out because they don't know what they're gonna get in talking to you. And so you're making it easier for them.
Absolutely, Colby. And anytime, everyone take this away, this is important. Anytime a seller or buyer calls you, or anybody, send a personalized video text message afterwards. Okay. My rule was, when I was an agent, I would not leave the home until I was in my car. I would do a personal video text message. I would say something nice about the home. And I would say, I cannot wait to work with you. Right. Whether I got the listing or not, mention something personal. Don't leave the home until afterwards. A seller or buyer calls you, send a video text message. You do an open house, send a video text message. Okay. It puts a face with the name. It makes you more real, and also send them something of value. I send, my team sends we have a seller course. We have a buyer course. Seller calls me, I send it to my funnel, and then I send them to a course that's A to Z buying from A to Z. It's all video, and it's like tons of information. And again, it just elevates my authority, elevates your authority.
I've got two questions.
Yes.
First one, quick. Where do you get those coasters from?
I got them from China. I got a contact. I can give her to you. She's amazing. Her name's Cherry. Okay. And she's totally affordable. I don't even think I think they were like less than $1, honestly.
That's amazing.
Less than $1, because I buy them from her. My students do too. Also, everyone, if you want, I have an event that I do every month. We go over all of this from it's 3 days virtual at your home. It's no charge because you're on this, because of Colby. Typically there's a cost for this, but if you want to go, it's on, here's the dates right here. I didn't have time to get over that, but it's Monday, April 21st, Tuesday the 22nd, and Wednesday the 23rd from 8 to 1. It's on Zoom. We're going to be going over building a personal brand that attracts leads, leveraging digital marketing to grow your business, how to create an online presence that converts followers into clients, and how to stand out as an authority. And lots of free stuff we're going to be giving you too when you go. It's over 15 hours of coaching. It's live. It's from me. I'm there like the entire time, and we really go over things in much greater detail. So I'd love to have you again, no cost. Invite a friend, get an accountability partner, go with somebody to make you're so cute, Dee Dee, to make people like it helps you, right? People do watch parties a lot of the time. And just because it's free, don't think it's not valuable. We have like literally hundreds and hundreds of people that say that this has been one of the best trainings they've ever gone to. So you know what's wrong, guys? My mouse isn't working. That is the problem. I thought it was me. It's just the mouse. But if you go to KristaMashore.com/win before you arrive, and everyone, the reason I have it titled that is because that's exactly what this strategy does. It helps you win before you arrive. Okay. And the more that you can get there and not let just commission be a thing, right? And if you do it correctly, like we will drop off this box. I go over in great detail how I use this box. You're seeing this all over. I've been doing this box for over 12 years. I was the originator of this, quite honestly. And now all the other coaches are stealing it, which is fine because it's what's in the box that makes it so good. But and these kinds of things we'll be going over in great detail at the event. But I'm going to say this, and I'll end it with this unless you have more questions, but all of you are capable of it. You're all capable. We're all born the same. Okay. I lived since I was 13 years old. I was in a foster home, group home, all that stuff. And I mean, everything I've created in my life has just come from sheer hustle and just not allowing myself anything less. And it has been hard, right? But we're all the same. We're all people. And I was scared to death to be in front of people. I called myself Krista Miller once when I was Krista Mashore at Broker's Tour with 20 people there because I was so scared of talking in front of people. You think this was easy when I first started? It was hell, but I love coaching, so I had to get better at it. You are all so capable. And there's so much potential in real estate. I think more than any other career. We make more money than doctors, attorneys, dentists, and they have hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt and have to go to school for 10 years. Okay, if you take your career seriously, you can have a completely different life. And all of you have the capability.
Good stuff. That was very nice of you. Excellent.
Thank you, Krista.
Krista,
What's the name of your Facebook group? I'll join it.
You need to record like little 5-minute pump me up things for all of us, like those cameos for all of us to just like play in the morning when we wake up.
You guys are so cute. I have it. I actually have on my daily sheet. I give people a thing to do. Here, I'll show you.
You are better than coffee.
Well, but see, so then we'll really end it with that. So, high energy equals high income, right? The biggest compliment I can get from anybody is, Krista, I love your energy. Okay. When we can give off that energy to other people want to be around us. So, and one of the things I've learned from my mentors is to model things that I see that they do well, that's working, model that. And I don't mean to be like a psycho like I am, because it's a little off the top, but what I mean is like, be happy and be that somebody that people want to see, right? Be that person that people see and are like, man, I just left feeling better than when I got there.
Yeah.
Right. Try to do that as much as you can, and you will make more money. The more you serve, the more you will sell. What's
up with the gold records behind you? Are you a singer too?
No, those are all funnels. So I've done over $60 million of funnels. That's what I just showed you is a funnel. So it's basically where you do advertising, you bring people to a specific page, and then you have them take an action. That's what I just showed you. That's a funnel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's safe to say everyone is leaving this call feeling super energized. And, to Krista's earlier point, like, I think you just start small, start by being visible, start by making videos and letting people have the opportunity to get to know you and trust you.
You'll win more. I promise. You'll sell more. You'll make more money. And you'll be able to help more. Guaranteed. Thanks for having me, Colby.
We are so grateful. I know my mom was my brother were on for the first half, and then they had to drop off. Sadly, they were texting me like, we have no Wi-Fi. We're so bummed we're missing this, but We are so
Thanks for having me. I
grateful.
really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys all go to the thing. I'll stick it back up here for a second. I'd love to see you there. And if you're there, put it in the chat like, it's me, Krista, I was there.
And we'll send everyone a recording, and in the email we'll include a link to this so that you can check it out and attend.
You're
Fantastic.
awesome. You're awesome.
All right, thanks guys. Have an awesome
Thank you.
week and have fun putting some of this into
Big hugs to you,
effect.
Krista. Miss you.
I love you guys. I'm joining the group. I'm clicking on it right now.
All right, bye all.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Kobe. Thank you, Krista. Bye.
You guys are
You're
welcome. Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.